Hey, there it is. Hey everybody, how you all are? Another day over here at the No Dust Barking? No, let's try it. No Dog Barking. Two Dogs Barking. Or something like that. Two Dogs Barking Workshop. And, oh my God, Pete! What's happening? How are you, man? Long time no Z. I'm checking to see if I'm going to be dropping frames here. I've been playing around with some of the settings on this, and it looks to be okay. Hopefully, it's muggy out and the temperature's high. And before I open the garage door, it was the shop door. Nope, no garage door, shop door. It was kind of like doing good here and overcast and stuff like that. Well, heck. Hi, Kraft. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. And I got it all started, and doggone if it didn't mess with me. So, yeah, thanks. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. You know what? I've had this for a couple of years, and I use it when I was out in the field, and when it gets hot. As long as I keep the sweat out of my eyeballs, I'm okay. I guess I should have looked in the mirror and centered this, huh? I got this. I'll show you here because I'm looking at it. I got this. That's okay. Anyway, you're going to see that there's like a brown spot over here somewhere. And that's nothing to worry about. It's stained. I kind of like ran into something that I was staining, and it got on there and it refuses to leave. And I tried to use a scrub brush on it, which wasn't the brightest thing in the world because scrub brush and hair just don't get along. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, let's go ahead and fire up the cams and see what happens. Here, let's try that one, see what goes on. Okay. Hey, it's dark out. That one was fired up and running before. Thanks for the host, Kraft. There it is. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we got that. I had this kind of situated in a different screen, of course. Let me see. If I twist this up. Oh, what the heck? My 920 is giving me grief again, and this is a different cable. Yeah, I did. I changed everything around. Everything was working fine, and all of a sudden now it's messing with me again. I don't understand this. That 920 is being a dog. There it is. Alright. Let's see if it's going to move. Why does that look... It looks a lot closer in this screen. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Alright, so that should be there, that should be there. And I need to move this camera which way? See, it's doing the same thing. It's almost like it's taking pictures. And I don't understand that. Alright, let's try something else. Okay, now it's working. For some reason, well, I know why. I have one camera that's 720p, and I think if I don't set them all up to 720p, they have issues also. I think we're going now. Hopefully. That, and I have to drop it down to 30. And for some reason, OSB, when I was running the other one, XSplit, it did okay. But OSB, man, it wants to have all of the cameras set up to the same resolution, which that's okay. 720 is still high definition. It's not too bad a deal. Except now I gotta go through and check my cameras. Let's see. That doesn't look too bad. I can't complain about that. Oh. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay. Get back to where we were. I'm gonna end up moving it around anyway. What we're gonna do, besides making a lot of noise again, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do this yet, is we're gonna make and cut a rabbit into this, which is like a groove. I'm gonna go ahead and use well, I was gonna use a router table, because that's a little bit easier to control, and I'll play around with setting it up, changing the bits and stuff like that. So I'll rearrange a few things. I don't know how well that's going to be to look at. But before I do anything, let's see if it fits. It's pretty solid. It's relatively square. Somebody's relative anyway. And it's a little tight. And that tightness is because of this here in the top. So I have to just cut it down a little bit. There's a little bit of a bowl right in here and a little bit of flaw in here. But actually, I like the way it fits. I like the way it looks too. Oh sure, I'm sitting here bragging about this, how it looks and everything. Nobody can see anything. Let's go over here. Can you see it there? No. No, no, no. Alright, let's go to the top one there. Okay, there it is. It looks really good in the little picture. Let's keep it small. Hey Artie, how you doing? Cool. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi, and stay as long as you can, and if not, well, that's okay. It does fit relatively well, except like I said, I gotta open it up a little bit here. And that's probably because of the little bit of natural bow that's in the Dumawhapi. It's in the plywood. But that's nothing that a little sanding won't cure. Actually, I don't know. I kind of like it. It'll get cleaned up. It'll be. Oh, this one fits okay. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna cheat. I'm still gonna sand it, but I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna make that the front. This will be front top. So if that's the case, then I want it so that I can read it the other way. Front. Top. Not to be confused with ZZ Top. Alright, there you go. So this is the side that I'm going to be grinding. Alright. I have yet to figure out how I'm going to incorporate this adjustment and change because I'm gonna have to set this bad boy up. Take this off. Most probably I sin, therefore I sin. The blue spoon thing. Oh, that's a spoon rest. I gotta show you that. You talking about this? This is so cool. This is so cool. Let me switch. Use this one. This is actually the camera that's the culprit to causing the most grief for me, but you know what? Let's make a little bit more room in this screen. You guys don't want to see my ugly mug. We'll put that down there like that. And we'll put this one up there like that. And we'll open the dogs up a little bit. Yeah, I know this is totally professional here, isn't it? And yeah, Sprint PCS is pretty much like a really old shirt. Just about everything that I have is really old. Alright, that'll look a little better. This way I open up the big screen here. Okay, so this here, and they sell them at Michael's, I think it was. There's a couple other places, but it's nothing more than a spoon rest that's made out of silicone. Now there's a little thing about silicone, and these are Rocklers, but I've got bench dogs too. When you use silicone glue, and it even works with epoxies, all you have to do is you get it kind of mumbled around a little bit and just peel off. Yeah, just about everything that I have is old, because I'm always working with paint. But see, I just peeled off all the old glue, and it's back to being a new glue brush again. It works. If I use this one I did. This one here, if you see, I'm missing a tooth. I don't know if you can see that too good. There it is. And that's because I grabbed this thing pulling. I pulled this thing instead of doing all the peeling. It got stuck inside. Every once in a while you got to pay attention, when you're pulling it off. But they work good, and it saves me a lot of money in brushes, because I do use brushes a lot for applying glue. And Rockler sells these. There's a few companies that do it. I had even gone to the point of looking at basting brushes, but I haven't found any that don't. Basting brushes are kind of like, even though they're made out of silicone, they're designed to. Okay, see you later, Artie. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I always like to see you have a visit. But this will turn around and it cleans real easy. Like I said, and they're like $2. Rockler sells the same thing in their kits, or you can buy them separate. It's like a little banana boat, and they're about $10. And I use this, to put the what I do? Use this to put my brush in so it doesn't get messed up. The other thing I do is I mix them. Okay, I'll get it right yet. Another thing, I don't know if I got any handy. Let me go scrounge in here. Hello? I don't know if I got one. Oh yeah, okay. Once I get done with this project, I'm gonna have to spend the day just putting all the plywood back up. Okay, this here, that is a silicone cupcake thing. And it does the same thing. It's dusty. and it does the same thing. Well, these work great because you get like, you get like half a dozen of them for a few bucks. And I will mix. They're not real good for mixing epoxy because they got the little groovies in it. I need to find some that are smooth. But for like when I make, I'll mix my wood glue in with my sawdust and put it in there and mix it up. If I mix too much up, or if it goes down the tubes while I'm working on it, I could go ahead and just set it on the side, let it dry. I pop it out and it's ready for the next time. As a matter of fact, I usually end up turning them inside out. They're dishwasher safe, although I don't put them in a dishwasher because I don't want Jan to worry about me getting the dishwasher all sawdusty. But they work real good. They're cheap, and they're very similar, or even better than a lot of the stuff that you buy in the store. So now I'm going to try to set this router up without saying too many nasty words. Can you see that pretty good? Hopefully I won't get in the middle of it and get in the way. I've got to get religious and kneel. Act like the altar boy. But the concrete's a little rough on this old man's knees, and I've got a pad as I run around aimlessly looking for it. I haven't seen it since we moved everything around. Oh well, we'll use this. I just washed this one. Hopefully it doesn't have any dried up glue in it. Man, I'm surprised. I used to have, you normally have that real handy. Oh, okay, it's down in there. Oh, looky. Okay, first thing we do is clean it off, huh? This has got fantastic dust collection when you got that guide that I took off of it on there. But for a lot of the options, you can't use a guide. And so it gets a little dusty and messy. If you can see by the streak marks, I need to hit this with alcohol again. By the streak marks in the buildup here, that's actually caused by dirt. By pine. It's real bad about that. The nice part about this is I can unplug this right from here. When I'm using dust collection, I can plug it in right here, and or I can do the thing that I normally do. Oh, that's not a good thing. I just plug and unplug it from the mains. Which is here. I'll keep it unplugged for now. And oh. And I needed a couple of wrenches. Forgot which one it is. I think it's the bigger one. And I bet you I'm in my way. I bet you. Here. Here. I got the idea. Let's go this side. Like that. Maybe you can see better. Well, it would be if I twisted it right. Okay. Maybe you'd be able to see better there. Oh, I'm always safe. Sorta. Sometimes. When I want to be. Maybe. Oh. I'm not doing anything but setup right now. There's no power to it. Worst I can have is I cut myself on a bit, which I've done before. I don't know why, for some reason, these inserts fit pretty tight. And I still haven't found a gracious way to get these out of here. I ended up shooting them across the shop. Come on. I may have this set too high. To follow the machine looking for the releases. Here we go. Let's drop this down, see if I get a little bit more room. This thing is kind of a pain in the butt to adjust and set up and stuff ever since I went to a bigger... Oh man. I went to the router, the Ryobi plunge router on this, and that, which is the other suggested one for this, because I needed a 1/2-inch bit capability, and it's become more work. Oh boy, I tell you what. I got a better shot at it. There we go. Well, it's about time. And we're bringing this up, locking it into place, hopefully. Yeah. And we loosen it up. And I'm going to be using a whole bunch of really cool, neat toys. Here in a minute. That's a round over bed. I keep that one in here, which is one of the reasons why it's hard to get out, hard to mess around with and get out, because I got it in there all the time. It was real easy to walk over there and just zip over a quick round over. Now I have this here is a 3/8 inch by 1/2 inch rabbiting bit. 3/8 of an inch is half of the width of a 3/4 inch board. So we're going to put that in there, and as soon as I find my measuring tool, we'll measure it up, or we're going to eyeball it. I don't know which. Alright, here we go. I have a little measuring tool that I moved, and it's right here. I don't remember what insert I need. Yeah, this one. These inserts are kind of important to keep the stuff from falling out of it or falling through it. This guy's brand new. I've used it only just a couple times. So you want, whenever you put one of these in, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of space between the collet and the other. This way, if the collet freezes up on you, and to hold this thing down, you got a little bit of pry room. Plus, most of these bits, they have some are welds, some are other things that are in that location, like right at the end of the shaft. So it's not perfectly the right size. Except this one's kind of like messing with me here. You know, that height is actually arbitrary. This is a this is a 1/2 inch collet, and then there's a 1/4 inch spacer collet that goes inside of it, and that holds everything together. Okay, then we got this in. Alright, so now I'm going to drop this down. Well, not that far. I'm going to bring it up just a hair. This one's got all kinds of micro adjustments to it and everything like that. But it only happens when you're using it as a plunge router. Although there's a shaft with nuts on it that I use on one side, and on the other side there's a lock. So I lock it in the general position. When I get it kind of close, then I'll go ahead and I'll unlock that one. I'll use a nut to get my exact run. And I'm actually looking to get the height of this cutter a little bit higher than 1/4 inch. Because I think most of that stuff there is 1/4 inch. The stuff that we're going to be using, we're going to be cutting it out. And this thing likes to come down easier than it does that. But if it's 5/16, I'm not going to cry. But if it's a little bit deeper, that's not a problem. I'd rather have it deeper than shallow, to be honest with you. Alright, that's halfway between 1/4 and 5/16, whatever the technical term is for that. And then there's a little lock lever. Put it all together. We do a quick check. Yep, that's it. Everything's fine and dandy. Cool. Alright, so it's like it took forever to set this up, right? It's going to take me like 30 seconds to do the cut. And it is noisy. I don't know how noisy it's going to be with the mic because I haven't run this tool yet on stream. So let me know if it's real noisy and bad or not so bad. But my microphone's in a bad position. My microphone will be right on top of it, so I'm not sure. Let's get this guy. Find out where my top is. Okay, front and the top. So we're going to do this because we're doing the bottom. And this one here, unlike the other ones, it spins so fast. You have to actually get it fired up and let it get spinning. And then we just go ahead and put it in. Let's see if I can show some of this. How to do the overhead camera. I think this one will work. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That should do it. Oh, I just hit a nail. one rabbit. We're gonna have to cut these out. Oh, oh, cool! I just showed the whole thing. There's a rabbit. All right, let's move this back. Show the rabbit. The little bunny. The little bunny rabbit. Oh, bunny, 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 bunny. Alright. Alright. Like that. A little bit of glare. That's just because of the sunlight. The other one won't be so bad, I hope. Okay. Let's go to this bad boy. And we'll show you what we got. So that's the router cable. And like I said, you know, it takes, the setup is quick. I'm gonna take it apart, but you can sit there and contemplate and check this out. And yeah, I ran it right across one of those, just barely ticked that thing. I hope it didn't mess up my blade. Okay, as you can see, well maybe not. Now we have a groove cut in here, and that's where the pieces of the lumber that I'm going to cut down are going to fit in. And but first we'll have to square these off with a chisel, which is a slow process, but it's not real bad. But before that, I want to go ahead and I'm going to put the round over in, because now that I'm thinking about it, I wanted to round over the sides on that thing. I can do it later. I mean, it's not a life or death issue now. Where the heck's my knee pad? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm saying no to crack. Boy, it's hot in here. This may be a really, really short stream. I don't think it's the heat as much as it's the mugginess. Yeah, I know. You guys are getting to see a whole lot of my behind, I bet you. This shouldn't take too long, I hope. I just got to get the collet out. Someday, when I'm rich and famous, I'll get one of them real nice with cast iron tops with the lift and all that kind of stuff. Those have screw-in collets with a special, with like a tool. So you do everything from the top. There's no playing around with adjusting from the bottom or any of that kind of stuff at all. Which, this isn't bad. I mean, I've seen some other setups that people have, and there's a lot of jacking around, screwing around with it. I thought about doing a homemade table, but at the time I didn't want to invest the time and energy in it. Instead, I just went with this bad boy. It's not, it's kind of funny. I think it's only like in the 80s. It might be up in the 90s though. I'm not sure. Man, is it humid out? Whew. I've got we're gonna have my sister-in-law lives in Waco. She's stopping by. She's was in between traveling from I don't know where, from somewhere. So she's gonna stop by. I don't know if she's spending the night or just visiting or what. I don't know what's going on. I hope she spends the night. She's always nice. It's always nice for her to visit. That's Jan's brother's wife. He's kind of like I am. He doesn't travel that good anymore. He's a lot older than I am too. But he doesn't travel well anymore, so he's staying at home. which is too bad. I kind of miss that guy. I like him. He's a pretty good guy. He got some good stories. Oh, there we go. Alright, now comes the adjustment part. Whoops. The other thing is, this isn't the flattest deal around. One of the deals, and this is the general problem with most of these things, these router tables, is that they use a lot of plastic. And even if, like this here is like a fiber board, whatever it is, particle board or whatever. And over here, that the humidity on this fiber boards are like murder. So they swell and contract. And then the other problem with them is that they use plastic. And this doggone plastic. Alright, that's good. This doggone plastic starts to warp. And you get a little belly in the middle over here because of the heat. You know, it makes it a little soft, then it drops it down. And see, I got it raised this. I'm constantly adjusting this thing and playing with it. So, if you can't afford it, and I know they're expensive, if you're looking at a router table setup, if you can't afford it, invest in a cast iron top if you can. If not, they have a phenol something or other that's more like it's kind of like a petrified wood kind of thing. It's a plastic, but it's a lot more sturdier. And invest in a lift, which is the motor goes into it, and you buy it. It's like its own router system. You put the motor in, you don't have to. It's just the motor part. And here you do your adjustments from the top and bottom. You get the screw-in tops over here. 99% of them are made out of aluminum, or I've seen some of them made out of other metals. I think there are a few that are made out of a composite also, or like a plastic. And I would shy away from those. But we're talking bucks, and I'm just too cheap by necessity at the present time to be able to play with that. I've got a couple of really sharp chisels. I got my crazy chisel. It's a little big, but it might work. I haven't had an opportunity to use it yet for that. I don't need a Matek. I had an X-Acto knife around here. Probably not very sharp anymore. A little straight edge. And these have metal pieces on the back, so it's not a problem using a steel hammer. But there's a lot of them out there that are designed. You're better off using a wooden hammer because it's got less contact, you know. Oh. Sometimes it works. Tapping on it works good, and other times. Oh, what happened to that knife? So we're gonna wing it. We're gonna wing it, ding, ding, ding. Oh no, I got my marking knife. get my trusty rusty marker knife here. You gotta pull this thing out to release it. Comes out just like that. So what we're gonna do, get it kind of square here. Yep. Figure I'm out here, I might as well visit with my friends. Hi, how are you? How are you doing today? So I'm making a little cut. I probably overdid it in that one. It's kind of like going to set up my square. And this is actually fine furniture making stuff. Get this going. Oh yeah? What did I do now? A little bit of cut like that. And we go in like this. I'm gonna cheat. We're going about like that. There, and that should kind of set my line up. Like that. Wait a minute, Stream Talker said something in a foreign language that time. Oh yeah, X is hiding out too. I saw that he was hiding. I'm doing pretty good. But I shouldn't have had pizza for breakfast. I guess I'm getting too old for that stuff. I got a nail in here that I might have to do something about. Let's see, how far is that? About like that. Start my cut about there. Thank you. This is my 80s stuff. So I can sit there and go, I'm gonna get physical, physical. I wanna get physical, physical. Okay, that's probably another clip too. I didn't dance like us. Like a good deal. Yeah, I like that headband. It makes me feel not so hot. Yeah, it's pretty hot out here. Here's one of these deals. It's not the heat, it's the humidity. Humility. Yeah, there we go. Alright. This one here's a little long. Have to do some creative cutting on this one. Yeah. Most of my clothes are probably 80s. 70s and 80s. Wish I can find my bell bottoms. Alright, I'm going to trim this down back a little bit like that. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm doing is I'm cutting a little groove in here. That groove is going to be there to help me get my my chisel in there and set properly. It's kind of for accuracy. This way my blade won't slip as I'm beating on it. And I'm kind of funny. Sometimes I do one corner at a time, you know, do mark it and then cut it out and then go to the next one. And other times I go ahead and I mark them all first. Depends what other mood I'm in. I've been out 45 minutes already? You've been bored for 45 minutes already? Wow. I was hanging out here for a long time trying to get stuff situated. Hey, that was fun last night. That That game is pretty cool. I don't mind dying. I'm so dazed and confused. Oh, that was a little too much. One of the hardest parts about doing this kind of chisel work, which I'm out of practice, so I probably aren't gonna mess up anyway. Thank you for the host. Yeah. Hey, Aggie, how you doing, man? No, I just went brain stupid. Let me collect my thoughts. There we go. Oh, the hardest part about this is gonna be cutting this so I don't pop that little piece off. Which I've been known to do that. But I've got my glue bot handy. We can fix it. We've done it before. Houston, we have a problem. Not yet. It could be. There's a couple ways to do this. Or go about looking at this. Most people, when they cut these, they will set it up so that the flat end, which is what you want, so that it goes straight down, is here, and it wedges out and it kind of pushes it. But actually, I go backwards. Well, my first cuts aren't backwards. My first cut's going to be a little tap like that. And we're going to give it a little bit more of an indent. You see that little cut in there helps me get a nice straight edge. But I'm going to go like this, backwards, and what happens is that as I'm hitting, the point of the chisel is being pushed away from the side. So this way, once I get over here or get up close and everything, and it's also pushing the stuff away. But once I get up over here close, then I'll turn it around and it'll give me usually it gives me a cleaner cut. Of course, usually and what happens are two different things. This is a nice sharp chisel. I think I need to pair this. You see, I'm doing the same thing. I don't want to tap too hard, to start banging too hard, because I don't know if you saw when I was cutting it with the with the rabbit bit, but it was chipping a lot. Yeah, I break off a few things. Okay, so I hit a hard spot. You know why they call this stuff like this fine woodworking? Because it takes forever to do. And it's fine woodworking because the labor cost is through the roof. There we go. I've seen a lot of people do this a lot of different ways, and I've never I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way for this. Had to move my aardvark mug so I can see. No, it's not breaking. It's holding. For some reason. But hey, I'll have 3 more to do after this one, so there's still that chance. So hey Heather, can you hear the music? Oh, this? Yeah, it's not one of those boring things. It's kind of like it's up there with sanding, which I've got a lot of sanding to do. Alright, so now I got most of it cut out, so the rest of it's clean up. This is the one with the nail. I'm glad it's with this one because this one's easy to sharpen. That may be another stream. Oh, that'd be a boring stream and a half. Just a little bit right about here. There we go. It is? Good. I'm glad it's perfect. You could say it's a little too loud. It's Mario Brothers music. Doo-boo-doo-boo-doo-boo. Doo-boo-doo-boo-doo-doo. I don't worry as much about breaking anything as I am about slicing a finger, because boy, this booger's kind of sharp. I went kind of crazy when I sharpened this one. I'm doing this now when Jan's not home, because I think the last time that I used chisels, I was banned from being able to use them anymore. I can't remember. Either that time or the time before that. There's a YouTube video out there, I don't know which one it is, that I made, and I've got minion bandages over like 3 or 4 of my fingers. You're sleepy, huh? Good. Maybe this will put you to sleep. Boring enough. Yeah, I gotta do something about this. It's a little messy. It's not as bad as it was. Really? I clean up when I finish a project. I may vacuum in between once in a while, but it's not a normal thing all the time. I need to get a cricket sound effect, don't I? Whidip, whidip, whidip. This chisel here actually works real good for clearing these out. Except that it's just a little too big, a little unruly. I wish it was 1/4 inch, 3/8. The smallest ones I got, I think that's 3/4. I think that's still too big. It's around somewhere. I am not going to say anything until I'm done. You also have to think about what you're doing when you're holding them, because this end's sharp. You know how many times I went to grab that thing, and something inside me goes, no, no, no. One of my little voices is watching out for me. Just don't know which one it is. Yeah. Sure. Here we go. Of course, I'm not showing anything. Okay. There it is. We be square. Whoa. Yeah, it's warm out here, gang. Yeah, we got almost everybody here. Very dirty there. Yeah. Mostly all, it's mostly from today. It's not big chips. Well, it's kind of crummy. Alright, so I don't know how many of those I need. What I'm going to do, as thin therefore I is. I gotta have the 7 because I've got I got like 5 things plugged into a 2 ports that are in there now, and I think they're not working right. Yeah, it's hot, boy. It is hot. Yeah, I looked at I was looking at the 4 port, and I thought about it, but I gotta go with the 7. I was gonna say something. Most of the stuff that I put on there is stuff that I would buy for myself. I'm not trying to ask. Actually, it is. Because what I do is I put that on a. It's a little powered one. A little powered USB 3 block, you know. Because it may be that it's not. I don't think it's that. I think it's the connections between the cables. I think the plug, you know, you pull them out, push them back in, and that's it. You step on one, it's down. I gotta sit down. I gotta think about this too. What I'm gonna do, let me do this while I'm doing it. Actually, I got 2 or 3 things I'm thinking about. The bottom of this this drawer isn't going to be used all that much, and the bottom of it is not that critical, and there's not going to be that much weight. Don't I have some of these up? And so I have got yeah, that's the problem that I got in the house too. So I got these here. I'll get a little closer. I don't know if you can see. Of course not. They're thin. Let me show you. See if I get closer. They're thin. Okay, here we go. They're thin, but they're kind of warped. And if you look too, they're like wedge-shaped almost. And what I'll do is they're close to 1/4 inch, give or take a bit. So I'm gonna use these. I'll probably run them through the saw, square them up a little bit, though they're supposed to be square. And I'll stick them in. And if there's any inconsistencies, I'll sand it down. I might put a little epoxy in or something like that. Let me sit down. And get that kind of straightened out. I need to see that. Wait a minute. Hold it. Which block am I looking at? I get the other switch. Yeah, that's the one that I was looking at. They have another one that's an older model of this that they said that they got for sale on that. And it's rated for 12 volts. Or it's putting out 12 volts at something watts. And I think that's too high. I was looking at maybe I thought that the 5 volts would be a better deal. Cool. Have fun. Have a great lunch. Everything that I'm doing is going slow for cleaning. Let's see what I got here. I gotta sit down. Wow, it's noon already. Time goes by fast when you start so late. Come on. My computer's messing with me. Oh yeah. Which cleaner are you using? See you later, crap. I'm looking at something. I got it for now. I don't get this. It's showing that I'm dropping tons of frames. Am I looking kind of like spotty? Spotty's a bad word. That's a naughty word. Yeah, that's the one I use. I don't use it too often though, because it takes away all my sign-ins and stuff. Alright. We got that one back. Let me sit down. I gotta think about this. I think I have. I was looking at that veneering that I did yesterday on the front of that thing. I kind of like the way it looks, the spaltedness, and I think I have a couple of other pieces that I could turn around and maybe do the whole front frame with that spalted stuff. Although most probably it wouldn't look real square where it met all the corners and stuff would meet. So I think I might just leave it like that. I keep talking myself out of it. Yeah, now I was thinking about making my own door handles, but I have like 10 million tons of door handles. Cheap little crummy ones. The $1.25 store has got this real long aisle of inexpensive, cheap hardware. Some of the stuff's pretty good, some of it's not. Well, you don't know unless you buy it. So I've got some handles that are kind of hokey looking. I figured they look alright on that. Try to center them a little bit, put them on there. They're gold and green and gold or silver, I think. I don't remember now. They had some that's like, hey boy, those are really cool. I like the look of them. Had this big flowery pattern on them and all that kind of stuff. I got them home, and it said on their metal, because I always make sure that it says metal on it somewhere. And yeah, it was metal. They had metal screws in it. The rest of it was plastic. I put them on a cabinet, and it was last summer when it was hot. And I come back and went to pull on a drawer, and the doggone plastic busted off of it. So I ended up pulling all those off and putting in these little metal ones. They work. A couple of these I made my own. I don't know why I don't do it. I've got the stuff. Because I got the other stuff. I got to use them up, you know. I hate having that stuff laying around, and I'm not going to throw it away until it breaks. So maybe I just go ahead and do that. You know, after playing that game last night, I can almost say that I'm the ghostest with the mostest, or the ghostest with the leastest when it comes to life. It's pretty bad. That booger down to the point that those night creatures, they turn around and they look at my character and it falls over dead. They don't even hit it anymore. It's kind of waste of effort and energy to get that stamina build up, because hell, I'd have to make enough to build a stamina up at a whole party just to get myself up to like normal again. But that's cool. It's fun. I enjoy that. I kept my sanity pretty good till I went and ate. I ate something that I think I shouldn't have. So then I ran around picking flowers, and that did okay. And I'll tell you, when I would set those traps up and I had a real good sanity level, I was catching rabbits. I was eating good for a while. Yeah. But that's good. That makes for a good game. The dying part's kind of funny. I like that part. I'm sorry, it sounds bad, but that's cool. My character's getting real good at gathering sticks and grass. Pick up a few berries here and there. That character's about like I am when I was a kid. Don't notice when the street lights come on and come home when it's dark, and I always get in trouble when I come home when it was dark out. That's about the same way it is with this game. Oh, Jan goes, she goes, you aren't going to be doing that, playing that every night. I said, no, we're not going to. We're going to do this like once a week, right? Like poker night or something? She stayed up way too late last night listening to me play that game. I told her we should go ahead and invest and get her one and get her in there. I don't think she'd appreciate the dying part as much as we do. And what I want to know is how you guys figured out how to build all that stuff. Because I'm sitting there looking, and most of the stuff that it says for me to build, there's nothing like what you guys were making. I can make a shovel. And a straw hat. I never did make a straw hat. Every time I get a good pile of straw, it ended up going into the fire because we didn't have nothing else. That was a fun game. Oh. Well, see, when I get near it, it says I don't have enough science. I think that's almost like a barbarian kind of, or it's actually more like a druid type of thing, because I can't cut down trees, and I can't eat anything other than meat. And that's I come up next to the tree and it says, oh, it comes up and that, it says something across the top. Oh, somebody should cut that for firewood. Okay. And the computer won't let me cheat. It won't let me go up there and smack one down and take some bad points. No, I didn't. I had an axe and a pick. I did, but it wouldn't let me use it to cut down trees. I was using it for a weapon for a while. Oh, man. So I'm going to go crossways with them. So they need to be... I don't know how square those are. I think I can cut them in that thing. They need to be 14 and 3/4 will be a little tight. They'll bow a little bit, but I'll be able to pop them in there. Yeah, they should go 14 and 3/4. Yeah, it was surprising. I was sitting there, I was going, oh, I'll go ahead and I'll just do this, I'll do that. And it was like, oh, no. Okay. Which, when I was well fed, when I first started and I was well fed, I got stuck out there in the dark. And I actually killed 2 or 3 of them boogers before they ganged up on me. I was doing pretty good. Then about 3 or 4 of them, there were like probably 8 sets of eyes around me that were beating on me before it killed me. I said 14 and a half, didn't I? No, I said 14 and 3/4 is what I said. I don't know. Yeah, I can do 14 and 3/4 on this. Yeah, you're not supposed to be on the dark. Well, that booger held its own. Right about there. That'll work. I'll probably end up shaving some of these off. I got the wrong one. Yeah, it was alright. But I'm not a gamer. You guys can see that by now. There were a couple times I got a chance to live a couple of days. So I don't know how many of these I'm going to need. Well, I'll just kind of lay them out. I'll cut a few, lay them out, and see what I got. Oh, yellow pine. Boy, I'll tell you what, this stuff smells so good. I may not even trim them. Am I going to get another one? Yeah. The nice part about this is what's left makes good kindling. That one's pretty close. This is the thinnest that my planer can go. And I don't remember what it is. I had planned on using these for drawer bottoms when I had them. What I did, turn the noise maker off. Hey Dime, how you doing? What I did around Christmas time, and there's some pictures around of them somewhere on the net. I made these boxes. What I did was I was buying these I think they were 2x10s or 2x12s. And I was I planed the end down flat, and I put it up against the fence here 90 degrees like this, and I was cutting them a little bit bigger than ½ inch, and then planing them down flat again, so that they were just a little bit shy of ½ inch. Well, I get 2 pieces out of it, sometimes 3, and I'd have this little cutoff. And I looked at it, and it's thin. It's a little too thick for veneering, but I thought that it would make a good drawer bottom. I used a couple of them for tops on some of these boxes that I made. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And it didn't come out too bad. They need to be edged up. Either that or my box is that off, I swear. This one's going to take some fitting. That's pretty one. So I want to fit this one anyway. Get my plane handy. I don't remember. I think this is too wide for my Mahine. Yep. I was going to make this slide bigger. Sled. I didn't. In some ways I'm glad I didn't. In other ways I wish I'd have made it bigger. Because if it is bigger, it'd be a little bit on the unruly side for lifting. It's kind of heavy. But cuts good. So I can't complain about that. Still got enough room. Do, 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 do. Lower the blade. Well, this round, this has got to go to the outside, so that's going to be about there. It may be a straight cut, may not, who knows. It's a little off, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, this is mainly for, this drawer is for holding stuff for the planer, and about all there is. Not really a whole lot of little stuff. For as much as I use this table saw, if I was smart, I would have put a mount up here and put the camera down here, so this way I can kind of move it around right here. But then I'd be batting at it with a stick like Iggy does. And I don't know. I kind of talked myself out of that one. All right, let's see what we're gonna do here. My hands don't want to work for some reason. I know it comes over too far. Oh man! I need to build a spacer for this. I don't have one. So we go to plan B. Planet B. Alright, that's a cut about where it is. I think it's going to make it a little proud. Okay. With the humidity and everything that's going on in here, this sawdust is pretty sticky. Well, you know, it's also pine, so it's got the pine tar. But it's keeping it. It's plugging a lot of stuff up kind of easily. Alright, we might have to start like that. Oh, look at that. That fit pretty good. Come on. There we go. Yeah, there's a little difference in squareness. It's off a little bit. Usually if you got these pretty square and you drop them in there, they square up again. I don't know. Well, I just cut that one too short. I thought it was a smaller side. So I got the thickness of a saw blade too short on this. But it'll fit. How much have I got? Yeah, I got enough. So that's how it's gonna look. See, it's got a little bit, few openings here and there, and once I get it all down, it'll be pretty level. It'll have a lot of, be flimsy. Yeah, it fits pretty good. I'm not the strongest bottom in the world. I'll glue them together and center them up a little bit. That glue. Alright, so we go from one noisemaker to another. Gotta pop the air compressor on again. Hoboken is using the same headset that I'm using, and he's got the mods cranked on it pretty high. And man, I'll tell you what, his air compressor, you can hardly hear his air compressor. I had already put oil in it this morning while I was waiting for the computer to figure out whether it's going to work or not. So we're good that way. And I'm short about 8 inches of hose here. for some reason. Oh, okay. Ugh. I think I got it. By Jove, I think I've got it. Okay. That looks pretty good. A little bit of gapping here and there in places, but that's alright. I'm not going to worry about it. So, I keep forgetting to bring a new tip for my bottle in. If you look around on Amazon, these bottles are not that expensive. But I'm too cheap to just go out and buy another bottle. So when I bought this thing, I bought repair pieces, which are basically it's tips. I think there's a new lid, a couple other things. I wish I could find ones for the little bot. And you don't have it's called a GoBot. I think it's a GoBot. GlueBot is what it's called. I think it's another FastCap product. But the interesting part about a GlueBot is that that's not the only thing you can use it for. Jan saw when I ordered them and brought them in. Jan kind of stole my first. Oh, not far enough. I'm not going to say stole. She permanently borrowed my first GlueBot, my mini GlueBot, my little one, and she's using some kind of I don't know if it's a cuticle softener or something like that. And she buys about a gallon. And she uses that GlueBot kind of like as a dispenser. Okay, yeah, there we go. And I'll put a few Bradleys in there. See, if I have to, I can run a piece across the middle to help support it a little bit, strengthen it up a little bit. Here, it's too saggy, and it might clear, but I think we're going to be okay. Well, I bet that sounded good. So anyway, she uses it for that, and she loves it. She thinks it's great. It puts out. These tips come sealed so you can cut them at different sizes for the amount you want dispensed. And that stuff's kind of thin, so we cut the hole kind of small. And it actually kind of drips out like the perfect amount for her to do her stuff on. And I'm going to do what I did the last time I did these. I made a case. I made a case for my son-in-law, and he hasn't gotten it yet. And the first one that I made, I don't know where I did. It was a bad adjustment. I was using box joints, and the box joint was shallow. And so, come on. So I had to redo it. Well, I had this frame. I figured, oh heck. So I used some of this thin stuff. But the stuff that I used was real bad. It was real wavy, uneven and everything. And I put it in. I figured I'd make it as a shop case. And then I filled in where the box joints weren't complete. I filled that in with Mod Podge. I wasn't real happy with that part. I'm not. The Mod part, it didn't solidify hard. It was kind of like mushy, kind of like springy and sticky. Well, they also had a lot of cracks and gaps and stuff like that, like this is going to be kind of uneven. And I used that Mod Podge to fill that in. And it was a dog to sand. But it filled in. And it came out good enough that Jan wanted it. And so now she's using it for a case to hold her Etsy stuff. And it's like just the right size for that. And I don't know, it's got a little inventory on it or something, who knows. Alright. So now we go here to here. You know, I should mark that so now I know how far I need to glue. So it's got like a 15-minute clamp time, I think it is, they say. Oh, we should talk about glue. When I was a kid, my dad didn't use glue too often. He'd put a bunch of nails in them, half-lap joints, things like that. And he would save the glue and stuff like that for when he was making furniture, which he did that periodically. Most of the stuff was like, hey, we need this, hey, we need that, let's make this, let's make that. Stuff for the outside, you know, all kinds of stuff. Uh-oh, I missed that one. Hey Grizzly, how you doing, man? Bug. Whoa, look at that booger. Iggy got ants, I got the spiders. And I know he didn't see it because he was real wispy. Alright. Cut a piece of plastic off of one of the packages and just kind of glued it on there. Of course, you do realize if I thought about that, that I would have probably done the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, I got that update too. Oh yeah, that brown recluses. There's another one that's kind of dangerous too. I forgot the name of it. It's some kind of recluse. Yeah, you thought my shop was messy before, Iggy. That is not a landing strip for a fly. I got a fly sitting on top of my glue box. Where are you going? You know, I have a hard time dealing with gates. I think I'd have a much worse time dealing with Apple. Back in the day, it tastes good. Sometimes you end up eating a lot of it too. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. I don't know what kind it is. Mostly yellow pine, probably a little bit of oak. What I do is after I normally, I've got a dust extractor that's separate over there by the sander. I don't have it hooked up now. It's just a little dust extractor. Yeah, it's a real little vacuum cleaner that looks like R2-D2. And normally I don't sand anything but wood. And so I usually take this dust out of it because it's a lot finer and gets into the cracks a little bit easier. Man, gators don't do nothing. Yeah, there we go. We used to do. You're really not gonna like this. When I was in Florida, we used to grab them little ones. We used to chase them down and grab them by the tail and kind of flip them around till we got a big long lecture from the guy that Fish and Game about how technically harassing a gator is illegal. They didn't do too much to us because I don't think I want to put a nail in that. No, yeah, I'll do it on an angle. We were in pretty good with the Fish and Game boys. Because usually we went just about every place that they did. Actually, we went more places because they weren't allowed on like public land and stuff like that. I'm not gonna be able to get an angle on that one. How about if I do this? Maybe I can do it this way. There we go. Nah, that ain't that bad. Gators, for the most part, unless somebody's been feeding them, gators are more afraid of you than you are of them because they conceive you as being very large, much bigger than they are, and therefore, since you are bigger, they feel like you're going to whip their butt, so they try to get away from you. About the only, and snake-wise, the only snake, you know, I don't like snakes. Snakes are not my cup of tea. But I don't do much with them. The only snake that really bothered me were water moccasins, because they're very territorial. And we go into like retention ponds and go checking for mosquitoes. Them boogers have taken over that retention pond. And they come up there and they, put a pose up and everything else like that. Trying to scare you off. And if that didn't scare you off, they charge you. And water moccasins in Florida, they weren't long, but they were thick. I've seen them as thick as my arm. And they had pretty big heads. There's this place called Lake, it's in Lakeland. It's called Lake Parker. A big old lake over there. And I didn't have to do something with this other than this. And they good fishing, real good fishing. Gators all over the place. They have a problem every once in a while. People be walking their little dogs in the evening and get a little too close to the water, and that'll be the end of the little gorgie and stuff like that. But in springtime, there's a place where we launch the airboats to go into, and people used to wade in there to catch crawfish and just stuff like that. And when we get in there, it's kind of shallow. It'd be about, I don't know, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 foot deep, if it's that deep. And during springtime, you'd go in there, and there would be all different sizes of water moccasins in balls, because what they were doing was they were mating, and it was sick. Oh man, you were going over the water lilies and stuff like that, and you were climbing over the top of these things, and we'd run up there. We if we had a new guy that would start working for the Natural Resources Division or something like that, about springtime, we'd take him for an airboat ride up there, and you get in the middle of all this stuff and you kill the motor, and you can literally hear hissing, like they talk about in the scary movies and stuff like that, where you hear all this hissing going on. You can hear all that going on, splashing and all getting up. They were getting it on. And so I think that was the scariest place that I've ever been at. And it's funny because gators eat the heck out of water moccasins. Bass will too, little ones. Go bass fishing and they'll sit there and they'll spit one up. Oh man. Oh yeah, we scared a few natural resources people. There are a couple of, oh look at that. There are a couple of women. We took this one lady. She was an intern, collegiate intern, and kind of young, thing like that. And so we took her out there, scared the bejesus out of her, boy. She worked there the whole time and refused to get back into another boat. I feel bad. We might have scarred her for life on boats. This one is probably my fault because I shot it on an angle. Hope I can get it out without tearing it up too bad. Not too bad. Could have been worse. Now this part here, I don't know. Well, I got all the stuff on, so it's hard to tell. I don't know if you can tell the difference in coloration. But this is yellow pine. When I was cutting it, you could smell it. This here, which is the part on the side, they sell that as whitewood, and that's actually a fir. And that fir, it's like, there's like a bunch of different grades in it. But the firs usually have they seem to like to chip more. Yellow pine's a lot more stable of a piece of wood. And I don't know if you were able to see when I did the, yeah, it's time for me to sit down again. I gotta let that dry a little bit anyway. When I was running it through the rotary machine, but it that blade would hit and it'd take big chunks out of it. Fortunately, the chunks that it took out weren't as big as the depth that I was cutting into, so the cutters would work their way in and cut on across. So that's good. So I didn't have any tear out. It just looked really bad. I figured I was gonna pull that thing on and it looked like I chewed on it with both my teeth. But it came out pretty good. I'm glad. And it cut pretty good. I was concerned. I wasn't sure about how deep I was going to have to cut that. But going a little over a quarter inch is just right. Quarter inch, it might have been a little proud. Like I said, for what I'm using it for, that's awful deep cabinet. And I need the length more than anything else. I mean, geez, all it's going to hold in it is probably... I better sit down. All it's going to hold is just a couple of... blades. And and probably the dust collector pieces on it that always plugs up. I like that Delta. That was a choice of whether it was going to be a Delta planer or it was going to be a Rigid. The Rigid had some nice features to it. But it was kind of steep too. It was expensive. It was probably at least $100 more than what I was looking at this one here. And they had something kind of like Delta Days or something like that. When we were looking, it was right around Christmas holiday. And she was looking at the boxes. She didn't like the way the boxes were coming out. And she goes, well, how come? And I said, well, because they're not flat. You know, I need a planer to flatten them out. So we started looking. And she ended up buying that one. We ended up buying that one. And it's a good planer. I like it. It's solid. And I found out that there's a place that makes the that's got a straight blade in it, and they have another one that's kind of curved. I forgot. Now I can't think of the name of it. Never fails. And it uses a little square cutters. Well, there's a company that makes them for these. So if I ever run into a position where the doggone cutter is probably almost as much as that planer is, but it makes for a nicer. It doesn't give you chatter, and makes for a nicer cut, and they last longer because they're carbide, and they're just like the carbide bits that Eggy uses, especially the square ones where you get one side dull, you turn around, flip over, you do the other side, and once you've gone through it and you've gone through all four of them, then you replace them. Well, you only have to replace one. So you buy a set, and whereas if I hit a nail with this thing here, even though these things are like, I think a set of blades is like $20. Well, if I hit a nail or something in it and it puts a tick in that blade, that's it. That blade's shot. And these are set up. I don't think I can resharpen them. Granted, they're sharpened on both sides, so at least you got like two blades on one piece of metal. But still, you know, you can tear up a blade real fast just hitting a staple. So if you do that with the carbide ones, all you're doing is you're just indexing the little block or changing one little block. And even if I think there's like 25 or something, or 15, I don't remember the number, but there's a number of them that are on that thing, and you're only changing a portion of the blade. So it ends up being cheaper in the long run. With me using newer lumber and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure that I'm using new lumber. I'm not using a lot of recycled, so I'm pretty sure that it'll last longer. And the recycled stuff that I'm using is usually stuff that came off of an older project that I did or something like that. So most of the time I know what's in it. most of the time. Every once in a while, there's a couple of projects over here that have got a bunch of broken nail screws in them that cheap screws broke off, so I had to be real careful when I do them. I thought about finding some kind of magnetic, like a powder or something like that. You spread it over a board and have all that stuff collect wherever the nails and stuff are that are hidden, and drill them out or pick them out or whatever. But I haven't found any of that yet, and that might get messy. Not sure. This white wood here has got some pretty nice figure to it. I'm really surprised. Most of the time it's pretty plain. And the thing about it is fur, like your Douglas fir, that's probably, a Douglas fir is a little bit higher grade fir. They will have a tendency to want to accept stains Alright. I do whispers. I do whispers. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Oh yeah, I was looking at this one. Yeah, this one's fine. It's powered, isn't it? That's the big thing. It's got to have power to it. Cable, user manual, service cover, 2.3-foot power supply. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. What's the rating on that? That's excellent. I need to put that into my cart, right? Oh, it won't go. Oh, let me sign in. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Okay. I gotta put it on high priority because I have such a long list it'll end up showing on the bottom. Let me see. Yeah, that'll work. That's fine. Power to the wall. It's got power to the wall. I checked that out. That's the important. That was one of the important parts. I have. Let me pull the other one out. Okay. That's cool. I did it. I updated it so that we put the different one in there. How's that sound? That's fine. The 7-point is the thing. Empowered. See, the deal about it is that... Oh, you know what? You don't have to go... You know what? That's fine. That's fine. I saw that one. I was going to add it to the list, and it disappeared, and I couldn't find it again. Then I saw the aluminum one. I said, oh, yeah, I'll put that one in. Because I thought it was the same thing. I don't know. I have one. I have an 8-port USB 2.0 that's on my daily driver, my computer in the house. I have got so much USB stuff hooked up to that thing that I've got almost all the ports in the back filled, and I've got 2 USB 2.0s and 2 USB 3.0s on the front of this new computer, and I've got both of those USB 3.0s filled in. And I think I got like one that's open for plugging thumb drives in and out. But the other thing too is that my computer is the one that gets, all the cameras get plugged into, like, the Vixias would get plugged into and downloaded, and all the action cams, all the Jan's cameras. It's got to be powered because it's going into the back of the kiosk. Right now I'm running my cameras off of the USB 3.0 ports that are in the back of this computer. And I think because the cables are so long, even though these are active cables, I'm not getting my 5 volts all the way in all the time. Yeah, I need 2 of them. I need 2 of the big long ones, because I got these 2 long ones here, and those are actually like half the length of these. And then you see that there's a 2-pack that's in there. That 2-pack is for, I got one in here that's got this real long cable on it, the kiosk cable, and I want to convert that one to a shorter cable because I think that's where that one on the top there, that's at 922, and I think that it's on such a long cable, it's giving me problems too. It holds up really well during stream, but when I go and I use it to to make videos, yeah, right. These are 25 with an amp in them, with an active port in them. What do they call them? It's 15 feet if it's not if it doesn't have if it's a static port. If it's an active one, you can go 25. That's the way it goes. I remember researching that, and I thought that I was going to need the full 25 feet here in the shop, but I got it set up now to where I'm about 9 foot. I got about 9-10 foot of it out. And there's about 2 or 3 foot inside the kiosk. Yeah, see, 3.0 is the way that it works. And 3.0 are downward compatible. I did a lot of research with that too. Because some of these, a couple of these cameras are 2.0. One of them is a 3.0. I don't remember which one. And like my Wi-Fi widget, that I'm on a cable now, but there are a lot of times that when the weather's real bad and stuff like that, I'll go to Wi-Fi, and for some reason the Wi-Fi will work better than the cable does. But see, what I do is I hook the cable up. I have a hub. We just updated all that stuff. I've been running a gigabyte LAN for 8-9 years now. Well, I set it all up when I set up the computers. Those computers are almost 10 years old. So everything in there except my Wi-Fi router was 10 years old. Cables and all. So I just said, no, that ain't gonna work. So I went and I revamped them all. And I got it on my Instagram. I made this little shelf. Bought a new switch. I went to a 8. Yeah, I think I went to an 8 input switch. I was on a 4 before, and it was kind of full. And it seems to be working okay. My internet cable, what I do is I have a roller. And I roll my internet cable up every time after stream, and unroll it before stream. Otherwise, if I'm not streaming, I'll leave this one on and on Wi-Fi, and I use the Wi-Fi for for listening to music and stuff like that when I'm in the shop here and I'm not streaming. That, and you know, usually I end up listening to somebody's music on a Twitch stream or something, and I get a lot of that.